Radio Imanzi 105.1 FM. Twese hamwe birashoboka.
We got you updated. This is Radio Imanzi News in English.
This is Radio Imanzi, broadcasting from Kigali. Here is the news in English, brought to you by Fiona Umukano. Now the headlines. Rwandans say they are prepared to participate in the national census by answering the questions that the clerks will ask. Pilgrims from all over the world converged at Chibeho to mark the ascension to heaven of the Virgin Mary. The chairman of Kenya's Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, Wafula Chebukati, has declared Dr. William Ruto the winner of the presidential election. Welcome back. Now news in detail. The city of Kigali has announced that by the end of this fiscal year, at least 70 kilometers of roads will have been constructed. Emmanuel Katabarwa, the city engineer, said that studies are ongoing to pave the way for expropriation activities ahead of the commencement of the construction works. He said there is no exact date of commencement because expropriation will depend on residents' maximum collaboration and will to avail necessary documents required to be expropriated and compensated. Katawarwa said that residents who have issues of required documents that are given by the government can be facilitated to get them so as to fast-track the expropriation process. Moving on, Alfred Gasana, the Minister of Interior, has praised the retiring Rwanda Correctional Service employees for their good behavior and patriotism throughout their tenure with the institution. Those who retired are 86, as approved by the cabinet meeting that met on July 29, 2022, led by President Paul Kagame. A ceremony has been held at RCS headquarters to say goodbye to them and thank them for the effort, dedication and commitment they have shown throughout their time at RCS as employees. Retired CP Peter Kagarama said that currently the agency has achieved satisfactory progress both in terms of infrastructure and operations. Rwandans say they are prepared to participate in the national census by answering the questions that the clerks will ask. This follows the National Institute of Statistics call to the general public to prepare for the 5th population and housing census and have the information enumerators will require. Vena Habarugira, the director in charge of census at the National Institute of Statistics, urged Rwandans to take note of key information about their family members as well as their whereabouts in order to have all of the information needed to complete this statistical data.
We recommend the heads of household to recall to write the member of households of the census night, the 3 categories of people. One is the usual resident who spent the night in the household, but also usual resident who will spend the night outside the household because of many reasons. Some may be in the hospital, others in the visits. So we recall all of the households heads to write down the member of households who will be enumerated between the 16th and the 30th, and some kind of information of all of those people. So that's the enumerator will come in between 16 and the 30th to enumerate people taking reference to the census night.
The preliminary exercise has been concluded and the clerks say it was smooth and successful. They say the people were briefed about the upcoming exercise and are well prepared. People who talked to Radio Imanzi promised to provide full support to ensure the exercise is successful. The motto of this fifth census is "Be counted because you count." This census aims to provide the government the real image and estimated number of the population density for the purpose of proper planning the national development. Rwanda has been selected to host the 35th meeting of the Green Climate Fund Board in March 2023. The decision was announced at the recent 33rd Green Climate Fund Board meeting in South Korea. Green Climate Fund is the world's largest climate fund mandated to support developing countries to raise and realize their climate action plans towards low-emission, climate-resilient development. According to Yannick Lemarque, the fund's executive director, Green Climate Fund has so far given $100 million funding to Rwanda for urgently needed climate action. The meeting of the Green Climate Fund Board in Kigali will take place from March 13th to 16th, 2023. Pilgrims from all over the world converged at Kibeho to mark the ascension to heaven of the Virgin Mary. The day is celebrated by Roman Catholics as Assumption Day. Kibeho is an important place for Catholics as it is believed that the Virgin Mary appeared to some teenagers in the remote area in 1981. 3 female teenagers witnessed apparitions in the following years, and Mary left a message of repentance and encouraged Rwandans to love each other. After 2 years of the COVID-19 pandemic had reduced the number of pilgrims to the site, this year the day was commemorated in a special way. According to Father Francois, the head of Kibeho Sanctuary, Mary's message is for the entire world, not just Rwandans. Murama sector officials have said that they intend to construct a new hospital in the sector. This comes after residents repeatedly expressed their concerns about the lack of a hospital or even a health post in the sector. Murama sector is in the district of Ngoma. Residents say that those who live near Kirehe district go to the hospital there, but others have nowhere to go in case of a medical emergency. Mujirwa Charles, the executive secretary of Murama sector, said that the authorities are aware of the problem and are planning to build one as soon as possible. The Rwandan government has set a goal of having a primary health clinic known as a poste de santé in each cell by 2024.
Some items of international news on Radio Imanzi.
Welcome back. Moving on ahead, the chairman of Kenya's Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, Wafula Chebukati, has declared Dr. William Ruto the winner of the presidential election with 7,176,141 votes, representing 50.49% of the total valid votes. Azimio leader Raila Odinga is the second with 6,942,930 votes, representing 48.85% of the total valid votes. Tanzania says they will tighten penalties in the Child Act of 2009 to enforce legal provisions that would protect children from violence in different forms, mostly at family levels. Dr. Dorothy Gwajima, the Minister of Community Development, Gender, Women and Special Groups, says a special task force has been formed to work closely with the Director of Public Prosecutions in reviewing the Act for proper amendment. She said the task force will work with other stakeholders to ensure that children are protected from the effects of digital transformations. Ugandan engineers have developed Microfuse, a device designed to make computing and computers accessible to all Africans, especially those who are dealing with irregular power cuts. The device is currently being tested in a school in the outskirts of Kampala. The laptop, made from local materials, costs $70 and can operate in very remote areas of the continent thanks to solar energy. Lawyers representing former South African President Jacob Zuma asked the court today to overturn a decision to send him back behind bars. Zuma was sentenced to prison last year but granted medical parole after just 2 months. A United Nations chartered ship loaded with 23,000 metric tons of Ukrainian grain set sail from a Black Sea port, marking the first departure of a World Food Programme initiative to assist countries facing famine. The ship plans to sail to Djibouti, where the grain will be unloaded and transferred to Ethiopia, one of the 5 countries the UN considers at risk of starvation. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's edition.